Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of your Shoegaze Sundays monthly update. We are at our November/December episode. So many things have been going on. I know with the COVID pandemic and everything else, things have been crazy, things have been busy. We're all adapting to new ways of doing things. I actually got married in October, so that was pretty crazy and tough to pull off. I had a handful of people there. It was a very small courthouse wedding, but nonetheless, it was a lot to do, a lot to plan, and kind of set me a little bit behind. I did want to try to have an episode available between now and then, because I think, I did the October/November episode that aired on November 1st. I got married on November 13th, so Friday the 13th, that was kind of fun. And now we're here in December already. So man, it's just been crazy. I'm already starting to work on my album of the year list. There was so much good music that came out. Definitely missing live shows and going to see people perform, but the output of songs, the output of music really helped get me through this kind of challenging year that made us think about things differently and look at things differently. So much music, so happy for that. And this episode is jam-packed full of lots of great stuff. So to kick us off, this band has been getting quite a bit of buzz on the different groups and the feeds. This, of course, is the duo from Mexico City, LS Days. They have a new single out called Green. It is wonderful. It's got all of those lush shoegaze hallmarks that I love. So hopefully you enjoy it too. Here is a sample from the LS Days with Green. So the next track I have for you is a new release, but it is from a familiar band if you've watched my show before. This is from the City Gates. I adore this band. They are so good. I consider a lot of my Canadian friends. I'm here in Michigan, so the bands that are close in proximity to me do sometimes get a little bit of near and dear approach, and I do sometimes have more contact with the people on the labels, and the people help support a lot of that close Canadian music. So I love the City Gates. They are just so wonderful. This track is a little bit of a departure of what you normally think from them and what I featured on this show before. This is a little more kind of post-punk, dark synthy, but it is so good. It is very moody, but I absolutely love it. This is their latest release, Roman Empire by the City Gates. So the next selection has got a lot of buzz and a lot of press this week. There was an article that had a mixed tape where I believe the guitarist from Thou recommended their favorite stuff from this year, and this was one of the tracks that was selected. I've also seen this band, this album, circulating throughout the Facebook pages and the different places I pull recommendations, but never actually took the time to give this a listen until my friend Costa who I'm not sure if you watched the show or not, but thanks Costa for the recommendation, gave me a couple things to listen to that he thought I would really like. Now, Costa does tend to like some more of the doomy or darker kind of shoegaze stuff, and definitely some of that doomy metal stuff, which I can get into and like from time to time. But man, his selections that he recommended to me were dead on, and this is one of them. So this is Via Melanchola. I think I said that right. I have no idea. I should have done a little more homework to see how to pronounce that. This is a trans-fronted band from Louisville, Kentucky. When someone describes themselves as a sad guitar witch, I'm in, period. This album is so good. I did get to sit and listen to most of it the other day, but the song that stood out to me was Ugly IRL, so Ugly in Real Life. I just love the whole mood of all of this. Here is a sample of Ugly IRL for you to check out. So the next selection really does come from one of the most anticipated releases of the year, at least for me. I love, love, love Topographies. I just can't get over every single they've released has been so good. You can really hear Gray Tolhurst kind of channeling his influences from his very famous father. This album is just, every single track is good. The album finally dropped this week. That is, of course, Ideal Form. So go check that out. I did pick the song False Desire to share with you. So here is a sample from that. And I am so glad we have the full album that has been released this week from Topographies. So the next track I have selected for you is another fresh, just released couple days ago, wonderful thing. I was scrolling through my Bandcamp pages and noticed that Miss Amber Crane from When the Sun Hits, the wonderful DKFM program, had bought this and was endorsing it. I didn't really know much about this band, so I went ahead and clicked it, and it is lush, it is beautiful, it is atmospheric. It just is drenched reverb guitar. It's got a little more of a chill vibe. I think when you read the bios, this even says it's kind of more ambient music with reverbed guitars. This hit all the notes of just something that I absolutely love. I bought it for Bandcamp Day to support the artist. This is Blue Navy. Blue Navy is from Jonestown, Pennsylvania. I believe it's one guy. I think his name is Jake. I don't remember the last name. I apologize. But if you're watching, hi Jake. You're great. Super excited to see past stuff that Blue Navy has done, and really, really digging this new release. I selected the track Slept to share with you today. Hopefully you enjoy it as much as I did. So the next selection comes from another favorite you might be sick of me plugging on this show, but I don't care. They're so great. I'll continue to as long as they keep giving me great new releases. This is the Milwaukee, Wisconsin band Brave Candles, and this is I Will Follow You Too. It's just that shoegaze sound that I love, so of course I had to highlight it. Hopefully you enjoy it as much as I do. So the next track I have for you is from another very buzzworthy shoegaze band. I see them mentioned all the time across the message boards. I hear them being played on DKFM and being listed in both When the Sun Hits and Drowned in the Sea of Sound. This, of course, is Uniforms. They just dropped a new single for Bandcamp Friday yesterday, and this is their track, Cross the Pond. So for your final track this month, I do have a classic / current track and album to feature. So Scott Cortez, of course, from Astro Bright and many other important shoegaze side projects. One of those bands was Star. So this was him and Shannon Roberts and Theodore Beck, who have a couple of older albums, of course, and I think a lot of these are older songs. Some of this was maybe originally recorded quite a while ago. Unfortunately, Theodore Beck did become very ill, and despite knowing how sick he was and that he was going to pass away, he still really carved out the time to finish mixing and engineering this album and just really wanted it released before he passed away. So this is very much a labor of love. This is really honoring his legacy to get this album out and to have this music shared with the world. So this is Star, and the album is, of course, Violence Against Star. You can find it on Bandcamp. It really is one of those. Unfortunately, there will not be any more of this, but it is just so beautiful, hallmark shoegaze sound. The fact that he really plugged in and got this done is really an honor and a tribute to who he was as a person. So hopefully, Theodore, Ted, you are looking down upon us and smiling. Those who knew him, I'm sure were blessed to share the experience and create with him. I'm in a band. I can only imagine losing someone that I spent that much time creating with and had that connection with. So the track I selected is Angel School Anthem. Hopefully you enjoy it, and of course, honor him and his legacy.
Give you away.
So that's it for this month. I know I say month, I know I say week. I feel like old habits die hard and I'm used to doing this weekly, but that's just not really something I think I'll see myself returning to unless, who knows, maybe sometime next year. But I like the monthly format. I've gotten some feedback from some of my viewers, some of the people who support me. Thank you for sticking around. I think one of you had said, like, the longer programs are great. We like having more songs, so cool. I'm gonna really plug in and get to looking at my album of the year picks, trying to decide if I want to do 10, 20, 25. This year was great. I kind of do like to narrow it down and kind of keep it short and sweet. I think I did 20 last year. I might just do 10 this year and then have like an honorable mention list or something, or plug those extra songs into like the companion playlist or something. Anyway, it's been quite a year. I'm gonna hopefully get the album of the year stuff out before the end of the year, but it might be early into 2021. I hope you're all continuing to create, stay safe, do the things you need to do, share that love, man. I know I'm loving being a newlywed. I'm loving spending time creating and playing my guitar and singing and listening to all of this great music. Those of you who have continued to watch and support me, I really appreciate that too. The shoegaze community is just such a blessing, and it really has helped me get through a lot of the hardships and give me a little bit of a purpose. So I enjoy creating this show for you. If you know anybody that you think might enjoy watching this, feel free to pass it along. I know we started out being hosted by Strange Ways Radio, and I think a lot of people were subscribed there, and not as many people maybe know that we switched or realize that it kind of moved to a different channel. So if you want to like and subscribe here, that's great. I try to get the word out. I try to make sure it's, if people want to find it, they can. So I'm not super into like, subscribe. I'm not going to say it every week, but it does help. And again, if you want to pass it along and if you want to get those notifications, that's the way to be plugged in. So I feel like I'm rambling. That's okay. I love and appreciate you all. I hope you have a wonderful holiday and a happy new year if I don't see you before then or right around that time. As always, I hope you continue to shoegaze on.